So I haven't really touched this for about almost a week. I came out here one day, but I wasn't feeling too good, so I just went back in. But through the process of not working on it, I've discovered a new plan, and that plan is, instead of having the frame rails on the front end straight and parallel, they and attached to the outside of the Bronco chassis frame rails, I'm going to have them like this. That way the bolts will be straight. Where they bolt, those rails will be straight, and then I just make the bend and it's going to go inside the frame rails on the chassis. So I'll try to explain this by showing you. Instead of these frame rails being parallel with each other and straight like this with the rest of the chassis, and this being bolted and welded on the outer frame rails of the Bronco chassis, what I'm going to do is, by the way, if I did that, I would have to make a bend and then bring the front over to the right, or to the wheels on each side, so it would bolt, because this mount is here and this mount is back more. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to have them bolt like this. I'm going to bolt them like that, and then make a bend here to bring this way, and it's going to go right in the Bronco frame. So that's my new plan. If you're not understanding it right now, don't worry, because I plan on doing this today. So on the front mount, instead of drilling a hole through the top of the frame rail and then drilling another hole, I put it where it needs to be, and I came up through the bottom with a marker and marked a circle. What I'm going to do is, since it's only like 5 inches back from the front of this mount, I'm just going to put my hand in there and put a nut and bolt it from the bottom. Have a bolt coming up from the bottom and a nut inside. That way I don't have to waste my time drilling holes in the top when I can just do that. So that's how I did that, and these are going to be symmetrical. So what I'm going to do is, after I drill this one, I'll flip the other rail over, and instead of putting it down and then marking it with a marker, I'll just take the measurements off the hole that I make on this one and put it on that one. Alright, well, let's get these lined up. What I've been doing, I've been drilling these holes, making sure everything's nice and even. So far, these pieces are turning out really great because everything's even and where it should be. I just got to make these holes bigger, like them, to get the bolts through, and then I'll mock some stuff up, and then I gotta take the measurements of where the bends need to be, so these, or that end, fits in here. The problem I'm having now is I have both rails bolted, and one's a little up higher than the other. And first I was going by thread, but I gotta remember that none of those mounts are symmetrical to each other. So one's gonna squish easier, and one's already squished, and one's missing some rubber, so it's gonna compress a lot more. So I think I'm gonna tighten on the driver's side one on the back to bring it down to match the other. Almost. Alright, we're at 0. Cool. So at 0 there, like the same spot here, we're at almost 5 degrees. So That back needs to come up. Wow. Something is just fucked up. It's wrong. Something's wrong. Well, I think I'm going to call it a day because this is just aggravating. This front end isn't symmetrical the way the frame rail is bolted up, which is so stupid. It's basically what's screwing me up right now because this one's level, it's high up. This one's not level because of this mount area down here. This one's lower than that one. Can you believe that? Bullshit.